It's Ash from Super Videos back for another comic video. So this is going to be my review and discussion for part 12 or chapter 12 of the Negan backstory. Here's Negan. I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm starting to lose interest in the Negan backstory and Here's Negan because we just don't get anything out of it. There's like 4 pages and nothing happens in the story. So, for example, in this particular chapter, I can pretty much say that this is the weakest chapter that's been released from the Here's Negan comic. And the other issues or chapters were also not that strong, but this, I think, is the weakest. Mainly because nothing happens in the story. I can pretty much summarize what happens in this chapter in 2 sentences. And that's not a good thing for a chapter of a character's backstory. So basically what we have in this chapter is picking up exactly where we left off in the cliffhanger of the last chapter when they were inside the mall, they were clearing it out. So in this chapter, what we get is that they're swarmed by all of these walkers, they have to get out. And they run out, Dwight and the others run out of the mall, and they notice that Negan is not behind them. And then we get this pretty epic image of Negan surrounded by all of these walkers, and he basically is left all by himself with all of these walkers surrounding him. But we have Negan grabbing a gun and shooting some of the walkers and leaving enough room for himself to run out of the mall. And then he runs out, the other survivors stop to look for him, and they basically meet up, and then they're basically contemplating whether it's worth it to go back to the mall and clear it out as a location for them in the future, or if they should just leave it alone. Negan says we'll find a better place. Follow me. And then that's basically the end. We have this shot of Dwight looking at Negan as he's leading the group of people that are about to become the saviors to some location, which is likely gonna be the sanctuary. And there's like a subtle thing about Dwight right here, because it seems like with the way they have this panel, it seems like Dwight is thinking to himself why he has slowly lost his leadership position in this group. Although he wasn't the official leader, it seems like Negan is slowly becoming the leader of this group. So Dwight is not feeling too good about it. Of course, we did see in the last chapter that Negan and Sherry hit it off, so Dwight is not feeling that great about that either. But that's basically it. Nothing happens. And that's one of my main concerns about the Here's Negan story. 1, there's 4 pages per chapter. And in those 4 pages, barely anything happens that moves the story forward. And the other problem I have with it is that some chapters that have a lot of things going on, they end up actually skipping over the most important elements of the story and actually just trim it down to just a few panels. And the audience is left putting the pieces of the puzzle together themselves and trying to figure out what happened. So a lot of it is just left for the audience to figure out themselves. So if you are not a comic reader and you read the Here's Negan story, you're pretty much lost, because everything about it is just them showing the big plot points but skipping over the actual details of it. But that's basically it for my review. There's really nothing for me to review. Now, in terms of the other chapters, I think there's been some misunderstanding about the number of chapters it's gonna have. Originally they said 12, now it's 16, I'm not sure. So we don't exactly know how many chapters, but at this point we're left to assume that there's 16 chapters. But I hope that they do something more exciting in the next chapter. I know it's not gonna be great because the other chapters were not that great either, but I just hope at least something happens. In this issue, nothing happened. So I just hope something happens in the next couple of issues. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll be back for another video.